Hey guys, we're back with another Pokemon Nuzlocke. For this video, we're playing Pokemon White 2, and if you don't know the rules to a Nuzlocke, I'm going to put them on the screen right now. Let's get straight into the video, so without further ado, here's my attempt at a Pokemon White 2 Hardcore Nuzlocke, ground types only. Before I begin my journey, we have to look at how many ground types are actually in this game. And at first glance, it's actually a lot of Pokemon, until you realize most of them are post-game. This leaves us with a selection of only 9 Pokemon to deal with throughout the entire game. 2 of the 9 Pokemon I can get in this run are both found in the same area, Reversal Mountain. Since Reversal Mountain has an interior and exterior, I'm going to be counting it as 2 separate encounters. I'm only going to count these 2 areas as different because their encounter tables have only 2 Pokemon alike in each of them. With that all being said, I used the Universal Pokemon Randomizer to make Tepig into a Drillbur. This should make my run a whole lot harder as my rival will have an Oshawott who evolves into a Samurott. I then name my Drillbur Cheeto and defeat my rival in our first battle. I get taught how to Pokemon for the 1000th time in my life and make my way to Flossie Ranch. This ranch for the first time in forever doesn't have a single encounter for me, so after this ranch, I just go to challenge the gym. I end up avoiding going over the level cap as I start my battle with gym leader Charon. He leads the battle with Patrat as I lead with Cheeto. I go for a ballsy Fury Swipes and end up hitting 4 times, almost killing the Patrat right away. He then uses Work Up, but it doesn't really matter as on the next turn he heals and I kill him with a Scratch and a Fury Swipes. He then brings out his final Pokemon, Lillipup. I decide to test my luck and go for another ballsy Fury Swipes. I end up hitting him 5 times and getting a critical as it brings him to the red. I then get really cocky for some reason and go for a Mud Slap, bringing him to 1 HP as he hits me for massive damage with a tackle. He literally could have killed me with a crit, but thankfully he didn't as I go for another Mud Slap, finishing off the Lillipup. This in turn gets me my first gym badge of this run. After the first gym, I head to Burbank City, talk to my mom, and get ready to challenge the second gym of this run. Before I challenge that gym, I just want to give a massive shout out to King P. He has been helping me out a ton in these recent videos. He made my channel banner, my channel logo, and even the format you're looking at right now in this video. I'm going to be leaving his channel in the description, so if you could please subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you to King P, and thank you to everybody who watched the video up until this point. Sorry for that little ad break, guys, but like and subscribe. I'm going to get back to the video now. With all that being said, I challenge Gym Leader Roxy. I choose to lead the battle with Cheeto as she leads with Coughing. I hit the Coughing with a return, bringing him to half as he hits me for little to no damage. I then hit him with one more return, killing him, bringing out her final Pokemon, Whirlipede. Whirlipede doesn't do much better as he hits me for almost no damage as I take him out with 2 digs, winning me my second gym battle of this run. I fall asleep in Pokestar Studios, wake up in Pokestar Studios, and finally make my way to Team Plasma. I deal with them pretty swiftly as after that, I make my way into the next city of the run, Castelia City. This city in the game is where I can get my first encounters of this run. I can get an Onix in Relic Passage, and on Route 4 I can find myself a Sandile. I catch a Sandile with Moxie on Route 4 and name him Bacon. After that, I move on to Relic Passage and catch an Onix and name him Sausage. Now that that's all over with, let's talk about this gym. This gym will be 100% the hardest in the run. There is a ton of Pokemon in this gym that are super hard to deal with my fully ground team. Berg alone can one-shot most of my team with just Leavanny alone. In order for me to win this next battle, I'm going to need to get extremely lucky. I'm going to have to lead the battle with Sausage and go for a ton of Rock-type moves, as that's the only thing I have super effective against Bug types. Unfortunately, Rock Tomb and Rock Throw both have extremely bad accuracy for this point in the run. With all that being said, I start my grind to get ready to challenge the third and possibly hardest gym of this run. I lead the battle with Sausage as he leads with Swaddaloon. I go for a Rock Tomb and it hits as Swaddaloon misses a Razor Leaf. On the next turn, Swaddaloon for some reason goes for a String Shot as I'm easily able to get off another Rock Tomb. Sadly though, it doesn't kill, and on the next turn he heals as I go for a Rock Throw. Rock Throw does about as much as Rock Tomb, so I decide to go for another one as he misses another Razor Leaf. I keep getting luckier and luckier in this run. As his next Pokemon is Leavanny, I bring him down with a single critical hit Rock Tomb. This is extremely lucky, seeing as I already was supposed to lose Sausage. This is great, and I easily finish off the Dwebble, getting me my 3rd gym badge of this run. After my 3rd gym, I head to the desert resort to catch a Sandshrew. This will be the last Pokemon I get for a while, and he has the worst nature ever. I name my Sandshrew Cheerio and start my grind for the 4th gym. This gym really shouldn't be an issue. With my wide variety of rock type and ground type moves, this gym should be a real piece of cake. Regardless, with all that said, I start my battle with gym leader Elisa. I start the battle with Cheeto and go for a Hone Claws. She leads with her Emolga and goes for a Pursuit, not doing much damage, so it gives me an easy one-shot with Rock Slide on the next turn. Next up is Falafi, who I take out with just a single dig. Finally, she brings out her last Pokemon, Zebstrika, who goes down to a single dig as well, giving me my 4th gym badge of this run. This next bit in the run actually happens really swiftly, so I'm just going to go through it all at once. I fight Team Plasma and move on to Driftmill City. From here, the only thing to do is just challenge the 5th gym, so that's exactly what I do. Clay leads the battle with Krokorok as I lead with Cheerio. I go for a Crush Claw right away, lowering his defense as he hits me with a Torment. On the next turn, I go for a dig and it ends the Krokorok. Next up is his Sand Slash. I hit him with a Crush Claw, lowering his defense as he hits me with a super unlucky critical hit Bulldoze, lowering my speed. He hits me with a Crush Claw first, now that he's faster than me, and I decide to go for Dig. It doesn't kill, and it doesn't even bring him down to half, as I'm forced to switch into Sausage. I do some pretty minimal damage as he decides to heal and I switch in my Krokorok. Thankfully, my Krokorok's able to take him down with 2 crunches, leading to his final Pokemon, Excadrill. This is really scary, as whatever I do, I have to switch out because he already lowered my defense with Sand Slash. I decide to switch into Cheeto as I think he's gonna try and kill with a Metal Claw. Thankfully, my assumption was correct and I'm able to take him out with a dig, winning me my 5th gym badge of this run. Immediately after the gym, the story takes me hostage and I'm forced to deal with Team Plasma again just outside of Driftmill City. Thankfully, they're really underleveled, so I deal with them with no consequences and make my way to Chargestone Cave. I make it through Chargestone Cave with a few close calls, but eventually I make it through to Mistrulian City. This is the last gym I have to go through before catching another 2 Pokemon. Thankfully, this gym should be easy because my rock type should deal with her flying types very easily. I get my lucky egg from Professor Junifer, and with that being said, that's all, and I'm ready to challenge Skyla for the 6th gym badge. I lead the battle with Cheeto as she leads with Swoobat. She goes for an Attract as I go for a Rock Slide, but get immobilized by Love. It's fine though, because on the next turn, I hit this Swoobat, killing him with a single Rock Slide in the process. Next up is Swanna, who hits me extremely hard with Bubble Beam. Thankfully, this doesn't kill, and I'm able to get off a Rock Slide, killing the Swanna in one shot. Next up is Skarmory, who plays a few tricks with agility, but I get the job done as he brings me to 13 HP, winning me my 6th gym badge of this run. Finally, after all that's over with, I get to catch 2 new Pokemon. Me and Skyla head off into the sunset with her private jet and make our way to Reversal Mountain. Once I'm here, I catch my exterior Pokemon, Trapinch. This is absolutely amazing. Trapinch evolves into Flygon, and Flygon is one of the best possible Pokemon I could have gotten in this run. Flygon's base stats cap off at 520, and that's amazing for this run. He also learns a very wide variety of moves that I can totally abuse in the future of this run. Flygon 100% should be my carry for the rest of this run. I decide to name my Trapinch Grits, and I move on to the next Pokemon. In the interior of Reversal Mountain, I catch a Numel. I honestly don't even know why I made these 2 separate encounters. He should not be that useful in this run, and he really doesn't actually do much in this run. His stats are pretty good, but his weaknesses and his lack of speed makes him a real one-shot in most battles I'll have. It's gonna have to do though, cause I need as many Pokemon as I can get in this run. Now that I finally get a full team, I head to Wendella Town to fight my rival. He poses a massive threat to my team. with his Simisage and Samurott, they really have the potential to destroy my entire team. With that all being said, I challenge my rival. I lead the battle with Cheeto as he leads with Unfezant. I immediately go for a Swords Dance as he goes for a Taunt, and on the next turn I go for a Rock Slide, one-shotting the Unfezant. He then sends out his Samurott, who doesn't actually turn out to be such an issue. I get lucky and get a critical hit Earthquake, one-shotting him in the process. Finally is his Simisage, who I one-shot with Slash. This wasn't that lucky, considering I probably would have killed the Samurott anyways due to me using Swords Dance, but if I decided not to use Swords Dance, I would have lost this battle. Thankfully I do, and I move on to the next city of this run. The only thing in this town is to do some story and deal with Team Plasma. I do both pretty fast and make my way to Route 11, where I'm going to catch my next Pokemon of this run. This Pokemon is Lygar, and yes, in this video I'll actually be evolving him into Gliscor. That, however, can't happen until right before Victory Road, so I'm gonna have to wait until then. Still, this is a really good encounter as Gliscor can deal with all of Grimsley's team in the Elite Four single-handedly. He also has really strong speed, attack, and defense stats, so I could really abuse that in the future of the Elite Four. For now, like I said, he won't be that useful, so he's going in the box, but in the future, I'll be using him a ton. I name him Toast and make my way into Opelucid City. The only real thing to do in this city is challenge Drayden, so I do, challenging him for the 7th gym badge of this run. I lead the battle with Cheerio as he leads with Hydraegon. I go for an Earthquake, doing almost half as he hits me with a Crunch, not very hard. On the next turn, I go for a Swords Dance just to seal the deal against him with another Earthquake. As I presume, I kill him with another Earthquake and he brings out his next Pokemon, Flagon. I decide to switch to Grits as he goes for an Earth Power and he misses due to my Levitate. I hit him, bringing him down to half with Dragon Breath as he doesn't go for Dragon Tail for some reason, and I'm able to take him out in the next turn with another Dragon Breath. This in turn leads to his final Pokemon, Haxorus. I decide to go for Dragon Breath as I know he's going to try and go for a setup. He does in fact go for Dragon Dance, and now I'm in a really bad position. I have no idea which Pokemon on my team can take a Dragon Tail from this guy without dying. My choices are between both Gravy and Bacon. Gravy has more defense than Bacon, but he also has way less health than Bacon, and the defensive stats aren't even that far apart. Thankfully, I'm stupid as hell, and I decide to switch in Gravy. I switch into Gravy, and he gets brought to 1 HP by a Dragon Tail. He gets switched out, and it switches me to Cheeto, so it gives me an easy one-shot with Earthquake on the next turn, winning me my 7th gym badge of this run. Before I continue this run, I just want to say that if Gravy wasn't on my team, I would have just switched into Crocodile, so me having 2 encounters in Reversal Mountain still really didn't matter that much. Regardless, after the 7th gym, I talked to Drayden once more as Team Plasma rains down ice on Opelucid City. Team Plasma, like always, really doesn't give me that big of an issue, especially due to my Rock type and Ground type moves. After Team Plasma, I head to Humula City, and while I'm there, I head to Giant Chasm and catch myself a Mamoswine. This Mamoswine will definitely be on my final team for this run. I name him Pork, and I make my way to challenge the 8th gym. This gym really does have the potential to be the hardest one in the run so far. This gym could easily wipe me if I don't have a good strategy, but thankfully I think I do. I decide to lead the battle with Cheerio as he leads with Caracosta. Sadly, my plan for this gym involves me losing 2 Pokemon. I have to lose Cheerio in order to win this fight, so I go for an Earthquake as I hit him for more than half as he finishes off Cheerio with a single Scald. This only goes into my plan as next I switch into Grits, one-shotting the Caracosta's remaining health with a Dig. Next up is Wailord. Before this battle began, I went to the move tutor and taught Grits Thunder Punch. I also gave him a Thunder Gem, making him do 2 times more damage with electric type moves. By now you see where this is going, and I strike the Wailord extremely hard with a Thunder Punch, still not killing him, but bringing him down to 1 HP. He then heals the Wailord, but 2 more Thunder Punches do the trick as he brings out his next Pokemon, Jellicent. Jellicent is his final Pokemon, so I go for a Thunder Punch with Grits, but it only does half. This is really scary as now I'm going to have to sack another team member. I make the quick decision to throw in Sausage as he is sturdy and he'll survive 1 brine from the Jellicent. He does survive 1 brine and he even gets off a Stone Edge on the next turn. but it's not enough to kill, and he goes down to the Jellicent. Rest well, you two, you will be missed. Thankfully, both of their sacrifices weren't in vain as I switch into Bacon and I get a foul play off, finishing off the Jellicent, winning me my 8th and final gym badge of this run. I go to talk to Chloris one more time after the gym, and he gives me his machine, so I use it on a Crustle and make my way to Team Plasma's ship. Team Plasma again doesn't give me any issues here, but in the future of this run, they probably will, considering I have some big fights with some big Team Plasma members coming up in the future. But at this current moment, they really don't pose much of an issue. After we finish the pretty easy puzzle, we get kicked off the ship, and we have to go back to Giant Chasm to fight the remaining Team Plasma members. In this area is where we'll actually have our hard battles of Team Plasma. None of the regular trainers really give me any trouble, but the first big battle that we have to fight is Chloris. He has a team of all steel types, so it's a pretty easy sweep as you can imagine with all of my super effective ground types. Before we make it to Getsis though, I have to take out Kyurem. This doesn't actually end up being that hard as I take him out pretty quickly with Cheeto. After the Kyurem battle, we look to finish off Team Plasma by defeating Getsis. I lead the battle with Cheeto as he leads with Cofagrigus. He goes for a Shadow Ball and I go for a Sword Stance, as on the next turn I go for an Earthquake, one-shotting the Cofagrigus. Next out is his Seismitoad as I go for an Earthquake, one-shotting him in the process. He then brings out his Drapion, who also goes down to a single Earthquake, and next up is Electros, and he experiences much of the same as I can't hit him with Earthquake because of his ability Levitate, so I hit him with a Rock Slide, still one-shotting him. He brings in Toxicroak, who gets one-shotted like every Pokemon on his team so far, and that leads to his final Pokemon, Hydraegon. Shockingly enough, the battle goes differently from here, as I don't one-shot, hitting him with Rock Slide, bringing him to the red and getting a flinch off. Sadly for him, his fate is already sealed, as he heals with a full restore, but I just finish him off with 2 more slashes. This concludes the rest of my battles with Team Plasma. After this, I watch possibly the most awkward cutscene I've ever seen in my life, and after this, I make my way into Victory Road. I talk to N for the final time in this run, and he gives me the HM for Waterfall. This makes it possible to finally evolve my Lygar, and after this, I make my way into the actual portion of Victory Road. Once I'm here, I get my final encounter of the run, Golurk. He could really help me out in this Elite Four. I name him Biscuit and make my way to my rival. I go into this battle with every single one of my Pokemon being one-shot. This was an extremely good move on my part, as I can lose every single one of my Pokemon immediately before the Elite Four. Thumbs up to me. Sadly, my plan doesn't work as I take him out with a full Sword Stance sweep from Cheeto, ending him where he stands. This right here was the last battle before the Elite Four. So after this, I start my grind to get ready for the final battles of this run. My final team looks like this. I bring in Toast, Bacon, Biscuit, Grits, Pork, and Cheeto into the final fights of this run. Every single Pokemon is level 59 and equipped with an item that'll help me win these battles. Finally, with that all being said, I challenge the Elite Four of Pokemon White 2 with only ground types. I decide to start my Elite Four journey with Grimsley. His team really shouldn't be that big of an issue, especially since Toast can take out most of his Pokemon single-handedly. He leads the battle with Liepard as I lead with Toast. Immediately I go for a Sword Stance and I get it off as he hits me for not a ton of damage. He goes for an Attract as I get immobilized on the first turn, but after that it's an easy one-shot with X-Scissor. Next up is Scrafty. He doesn't pose much of an issue as he goes down to a single Sky Uppercut, leading to his next Pokemon, Crocodile. Crocodile lowers my attack with Intimidate, but it really doesn't make that much of a difference as I still one-shot him with X-Scissor. His Bisharp really doesn't do that much better as he gets hit with a 4-time super effective Sky Uppercut, winning me my first Elite Four battle. Next up, I decide to fight Psychic-type Elite Four member, Caitlyn. She leads the battle with Musharna as I lead with Cheeto. Musharna sets up a yawn as I go for 2 Sword Stances, falling asleep after the second one. This, however, doesn't really matter because I equipped Cheeto with a Chesto Berry, making me wake up immediately after falling asleep. Now that I have +4 attack, I tear through the rest of Caitlyn's team, finishing off with Gothitelle, winning me my second Elite Four battle. Here's where things start to ramp up in difficulty as I challenge Chantel and her ghost types. This is the first battle that I know I can't just one-shot sweep with Sword Stance. For this battle, I'm really gonna have to play my cards right in order to not lose any Pokemon. With that being said, I lead the battle with Cheeto as she leads with Cofagrigus. I equipped him with a ground gem immediately before the battle, so I hit him for so much damage, bringing him to legitimately 1 HP as he hits me with a Shadow Ball. This ends up being perfectly fine, however, because after this I go for a Sword Stance and then an Earthquake, one-shotting the Cofagrigus. Now, I don't know why she brings out Chandelure, who's 2 times weak to ground type moves, but whatever, as this means I get a free and easy one-shot right past Chandelure. Next up is Golurk, and since I know he's going to go for an Earthquake trying to kill Cheeto, I decide to switch into Grits so as not to take any damage due to Levitate. This works perfectly, as on the next turn I hit him super hard with a Crunch, bringing him down to half as he hits me for only about a third with a Shadow Punch. I hit him one more time with a Crunch, leading to her final Pokemon, Drifloon. I decide to use Rock Slide on the next turn as I bring him down to a third as he hits me with a Shadow Ball, bringing me down to a third as well. I then hit her with a Thunder Punch, killing her but completely forgetting about Aftermath. And now I can go for a Thunder Punch and it one-shots. Oh my gosh, Aftermath! Oh, dude, I completely forgot about that. That could have been catastrophic, bro. Oh my god.
You almost died.
Surviving with 10 HP is a super humbling experience. As my friend said, I almost died in that battle. Thankfully I didn't, and before this next martial fight, I decided to teach both Biscuit and Grits Fly. Don't ask me why a 728 pound Pokemon can learn Fly with no wings, but I'm not going to complain, as this is the key to the next battle. With everything else finished and over with, I decide to challenge my 4th Elite Four trainer of this run, Marshall. He leads the battle with Thor as I lead with Biscuit. On the first turn, I go for Fly, and when I land, I do more than half of his health. Sadly though, since I'm faster than him, I hit him first and he goes for a payback, doing double the damage, hitting me, almost killing me. The worst part about this is that he got hit by my Rocky Helmet, causing him to go into full restore range. I hit him with the Drain Punch, then go for Fly. When I land, I hit him, bringing him into the red, but he hits me with a Rock Tomb, lowering my speed. Sadly though, he's faster and he hits me extremely hard with payback, killing himself due to my Rocky Helmet. He sends out Sawk next as I'm forced to sacrifice Biscuit due to me being slower than him. Thanks to Biscuit holding a Rocky Helmet, Sawk no longer has his sturdy ability, so I switch into Grits and use Fly, one-shotting the Sawk. His next Pokemon, Menshao, deals with the exact same fate as Sawk, leading to his final Pokemon, Conkeldurr. Immediately when Conkeldurr comes out, I go for a Fly, doing half of his health as he goes for a Bulk Up. He heals with his Citrus Berry, and now I'm in an awful position. I decide I want to go for a Dragon Claw, bringing him back down to half as he hits me for massive damage with a Hammer Arm, bringing me down into the red. There's just no way I can beat Iris if I lose Grits in this run, so I'm forced to switch out. I switch out into Toast since fighting type moves are not very effective against him, and he doesn't take that much damage. I decide I want to stay in for a little bit longer with Toast and go for a Sky Uppercut, not doing too much damage, but doing enough. He then nails Toast with a Stone Edge, almost killing him, bringing him to 27 HP. I use U-turn to switch out Toast, and I switch into Cheeto. He tanks a Stone Edge, hardly doing any damage, and on the next turn I go for an Earthquake, killing the Conkeldurr, winning me my final Elite Four battle. Let's go. Massive, baby! Let's go!
Big brain.
Let's go! With that all being done, I make my way to the final battle of this run. I equipped all my Pokemon with the proper items and movesets and make my way to challenge Iris to become the champion of the Pokemon League. I lead the battle with Grits as she leads with Hydraegon. Before this battle started, I gave Grits a Dragon Gem and I used Dragon Claw, one-shotting the Hydraegon in the process. She then sends out Lapras next, and since whatever he throws out here one-shots Grits, I'm forced to switch. I switch into Pork, who takes a massive Ice Beam, but it doesn't bring him below half, as on the next turn, he hits with a Rock Slide, dying to a Surf, but doing more than half to the Lapras. Next, I come in with Bacon and use Rock Slide, finishing off the Lapras. Bacon then has the option to learn a new move, Outrage. This move changes the tide in how this battle usually would have gone, so I immediately teach it to him, and on the next turn, she throws out Hydraegon. Hydraegon then goes down to a single Outrage as she sends in her next Pokemon, Haxorus. Haxorus hits me for massive damage with X-Scissor, almost killing me at full health, bringing me to 24 HP. Thankfully, he doesn't kill as I get off an Outrage, bringing him to 1 HP, only not killing him because he had a Focus Sash. I get confused by Outrage, and at this point, it's pretty much over for Bacon. The AI, luckily enough, decides not to abuse its speed advantage and goes for a full restore. So, I go for an Outrage, and actually get through the confusion, one-shotting the Haxorus. This is insane considering Haxorus was her strongest Pokemon and now he's down without causing a single death on my team. She sends out her next Pokemon, Aggron, who finally takes care of Bacon, but not before he does about a third with another Outrage. I decide to switch in Cheeto next as I go for an Earthquake, one-shotting the Aggron's remaining health. At this point, it is game, and she sends in her final Pokemon, Archeops, who I take out with just one Rock Slide, winning me the champion battle. And with that, that's how my run ends. I want to thank you all for watching, and I want to remind you all to please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and it would be greatly appreciated. With all that being said, I'll let Past Zango do the outro for this video. Brady, do you want to do you want an outro for me?
No, I don't even know what to say. Never mind.
Yeah, I called it.
This is probably my my favorite run out of all the runs I've ever done on this game and all the games I've ever done, really. And yeah, I mean, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and that was my attempt at a Pokemon Black. I said Black 2. It's not Black 2, it's White 2.
White 2.
Aw.
That was good though, right? That was good. That could have been really good. All right, wait, listen. Thank you all for watching, and okay, hold on. I gotta recharge real quick. All right. All right. Thank you all for watching. That was What did I say the first time? Birdie, what did I say the first time?
I don't even know.
All right. Thank you all for watching. That's it. That's the end of the video. This was my attempt at a Pokemon White 2 ground types only hardcore Nuzlocke.